Well, like I said, welcome to January 20th. Easy day to remember 120. I've got my 3 pound weights. We're going to start out with a little bit of upper body strength. So, my little tiny weights, my TheraBand, and my ball. And let's start with the ball between the inner thighs. Good. Become present and become aware of our breath. So just kind of like, going deeply into it, thinking about the oxygen, beautiful, fresh oxygen coming in through the nose and mouth, down, filling the lungs and belly. Remember, the diaphragm moves down. On the exhale, we help out by squeezing the ball. Oxygen, carbon dioxide moving up and out. So it's inhale, everything good coming in. And then on your exhale, everything out that you no longer need. One more time, just the breath. Inhaling goodness, kindness, radiance. And as you exhale, whatever it is that's kind of left over and stale and old, you can get rid of it. Good job. From here, let's do a full roll down, maybe 3 times. So I'm going to stretch up. My breath comes in and I reach down to a hang. I let go of my hair in my head. I bend my knees and then I smoothly push with my feet and my bones, rolling my spine up. Arms come up and stretch up to the sky. Inhaling down, finding my hang. Good. That's my hangover. And then exhale, roll up. Woo. Good. Thankfully, I haven't had a hangover since I was like 22. Reaching up to the sky. Coming all the way forward in space. Good work. And on the last one, see if it feels good to bend your knees and straighten your knees. Do you have enough tightness in the back of your thighs that this feels like, oh, I'm opening up something in the back of my legs? Or maybe somewhere else in your body. A few little bends and straightens. When you straighten your legs, you squeeze the ball. Good. When you straighten your legs and squeeze the ball, you also pull your belly button in. So there's a pulsation. Good job. Nice. Good. Now really hanging. I'm softening my knees. I feel as much as I can that my bones pull me up. My skeleton pulls me up. And then as I come all the way up, I fix my hair and I open to the beauty of the day. And I feel a teeny tiny bit better already. Yeah. Good. Okay, I'm going to keep the ball squeezed between my inner thighs. And for me, I'm going to keep my feet in a very parallel position today. And I'm just going to move into some arm warm-up. So I'm swimming and swimming. Good. If you imagine yourself swimming through a beautiful, warm sea, maybe you'll have a better quality of movement. There's a tiny bit of resistance, and your body might enjoy it more. Like Anna's beautiful swimmer. I was looking at that this morning. I love that image, Anna. Oh, it's so beautiful. The swimmer, like Wendy, the swimmer. Like Deb, the swimmer, like many of us swimmers. Good. You know, they call swimming in the ocean now wild swimming. I'm sure I told you that. Do you find that crazy? I know we just called it swimming. I still call it swimming, but a lot of people call it wild swimming. Okay, beautiful. I'm going to take my arms now into more of a loop-de-loop. And this to me feels good. It's kind of like I'm wiping the sweat from my brow. For me, this is a lovely movement. It kind of opens up a little bit more through the armpit. If it doesn't feel great for your shoulder, change it, please. Every movement should feel great. Nice work. Okay, now my arms are going to come all the way out. My palms are up, and I'm going to slowly lower the shoulder blades down my back. See if I can increase the length of my neck. How do I do that? Shoulder blades down, top of the head reaching. Just kind of feeling a little tiny bit of difference. Good. And then small little circles here with the palms up. Good. We're going to do some small little circles today. Not too much. What is too much? Too much is if you feel it in your neck or your upper trapezius. Good. Now the palms are forward and small circles. Good. Nice. Keeping head and neck relaxed. This is for shoulders, arms, and back. Good. Palms are down. Small circles. Good. Now the palms turn to the back and small circles. Good. Now I went the same direction each way, like I wasn't changing direction. That's fine. But if you did change direction, that's fine too. You can't really mess up the circles. Okay, then I'm going to shake my arms out for a moment. Shrug the shoulders. Let it all go. Perfect. Okay, from here, I'm going to remove the ball and I'm going to move into a little set with my TheraBand today. We're going to do arms 3 ways. Without weights, with weights, and with TheraBand. Because I've removed the ball, I've taken a V shape with my legs and I'm squeezing. So I have glutes, I have a little bit more core. On this first set here, I'm going to stretch my arms forward and then take a minute to pull the arms into the socket and the shoulder blades down and together. Yes. Then I take it across and it doesn't feel like too much. Good. It's not too much. I have laxity here. There's slack. I'm a slacker. It's a good thing, right? We don't want to overdo this. Why? Because then we're going to create tension in our neck and our upper trapezius, which is not our goal. Good. I'm just going to do a few of these today, but I want you to know that you can return to any version of this that feels comfortable for you. Because for a couple of you, taking your arms up over your head is not helpful. We're going to do that in a minute for one exercise. Good. Okay, so you can continue with that or have your own idea. But I'm going to lift my arms up over the head and then again find the high V shape, which is a little bit of tension, shoulder blades coming together. My whole body is pulling to the center line. I'm going to widen and I'm going to resist as I pull down. For me, I'm going to make it a little tauter, not as much slack. Good. Now, it's also important to have the right eye gaze on this one. So I look up and then I pull down just to the breastbone. Good. You could do this movement without getting too much out of it, or you can get a lot out of it by adding your own resistance, your own sensations. And I always like to remind you, it's really the sides of the body, the deep serratus, under the armpit, underneath the lats, super deep next to the ribs. That's what we want to activate on these. Nice work. Inhale up, widen and resist as you pull down. Good. We pull down, we resist up, pulling down and resisting up. Good. Pulling down, resisting up, and then one more time. Yay. Okay. That felt good to me. Want to do maybe just one more of these with the TheraBand, but I'm in my V shape. I'm going to come into my baby tree. So baby tree, I shift a little bit to one side. I slowly bring one leg up. And today, baby tree is just somewhere resting on, I don't know, maybe ankle, shin, calf somewhere. Maybe for you, you're all the way up to your thigh. That's okay. I'm going to do a smaller version today. And the challenging part of standing on one leg in this position is that I want to lean and I want to collapse into my hip. Don't do that. Keep trying to be upright like a tall upright tree. Okay. Now the movement with the arms, kind of to distract us a bit, is the elbows come into the sides and it's a small little pull. Small little pull. Yep. Strengthening those rotator cuff muscles. We're going to see if we can do 20, 19. Form is everything. Form is everything. Keeping good form. Good. So what my body is doing today is it's wanting to collapse a little bit. Maybe yours is too. Get taller. How do I get taller? You push your foot into the floor. Good. Okay. 7 and 8 and 9 and 10. Can you feel your shoulders yet? I can't. I can feel a lot of other things, but not my shoulders yet. That's okay. Good. And 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Good. And then with grace, slowly come out of that. Good. My standing leg worked a lot, so I'm going to shake it out and jog a teeny bit. Good. And then I'm going to set myself up for the other side. So we have the hands underneath. This set is hands on the top, same exact movement. Now let's start to slowly come into our baby tree on the other side. Maybe this side is a little harder. Maybe it's easier. Woo. Okay. Stand tall, elbows at your sides, small little pull. Small little pull. Small little pull. Give yourself as much slack as you need. This is for shoulders, but it's for whole body, isn't it? Good. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. Don't collapse. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and with grace, release. Yay, that was good. That was great. Okay, let's do a tiny side bend, and then we'll get out the weights. For tiny side bend, my legs are comfortably placed on the floor. Arms come up to the sky, and I make a frame. And then it's big stretch. Did I call this tiny side bend? No, it's not tiny. It's a connected side bend. Good. Inhaling side. Exhaling center. Good. As we're doing our side bends, you might visualize actually what it is that we're doing. The spine on one side is compressing, and the spine on the other side is opening. So we're getting more and more movement, fluids, and nutrition into our spine. Good. Inhale, side. Exhale, center. One more time. Inhale, side. Exhale, center. Great job. I'm going to take my arms behind me and slide my arms back. To me, this feels really great. If it's too much for you, take a teeny break or do a different stretch. I'm going to see if I can pull down and then up. That's a good range of motion, Ted. And down. Good. In Pilates, they call this shaving the head. Not my favorite name. That's what they call it. Ooh, that feels so good. I'm going to do one more. Behind my body and all the way up. Perfect. Okay, my TheraBand and ball are to the side. Last work standing. I'm going to do 3 classic Pilates exercises. This is for posture. Posture really refers to the upper back in this case. We want to start perhaps with the V shape that we found earlier, squeezing everything into the midline of the body.
I'm going to take the arms into little tiny bicep curls just to get a little bit of blood flow going. You don't need weights for any of these. These are exercises taken from the reformer. But if you do use weights, I really think the smaller ones are way better. This is the heaviest I would go, which is my 3-pounders. If you're really strong, maybe 5 pounds. I think I'm pretty strong. Okay, now here we go. We bring the arms forward. This is hug a tree. And before we start, we want the elbows to be out. We're hugging a small tree, a sapling we've just planted in our yard. The shoulder blades are pulling down the back. Our neck is long. We're reaching through the crown of the head. We open, and then we close. Good. So that's the movement. It's hug a tree, but you want to do it really precisely. That's it. Can you feel the back muscles? And I can't feel my back muscles that much. Can you feel your scapula sliding apart and together? Yes. So focus on the bones. Out. Hug a tree. Let's see if we can do 10. But remember, if you overdo it, it's going to show up in your neck and your upper trapezius. And that's when you take a moment to shrug off. Nice. Inhale. Exhale. Good. If you get lazy, your arms are going to come down lower, which is okay, but better to have the arms about chest level so that the elbows are kind of lifted. You're hugging your sapling. Maybe we're planting a beautiful fruit tree. Nice. I'm going to see if I can do 4 more. 4. I'm starting to feel it, but not in a bad way anywhere. I feel it in my deltoid, so my upper arm and my upper back. Last 2. Hug your tree. Good. Last one. Beautiful. Slowly down. And let's do a couple shoulder shrugs. Let's do 3 shoulder shrugs. Up. Let it go. Good. Remember to do the shoulder shrugs if you have neck issues. Studies show that just simple shoulder shrugs with weights can cure neck issues. Very, very strong. Okay, we're going to serve the tray. So I'm holding the small weights. Elbows are at my sides, squeezing everything to the midline. I serve the tray and I pull it in. I don't want to really have the arms too narrow. I want them to be a little bit wider so that my shoulders are comfortable. And it's a tray, so I'm not going to lift it up. It's got 5 martinis on it. I want to pull it in and pull it out. Inhale, exhale. Good job. Good. Just in case we become unhoused people and we do not have any more money. We've lost our money, we need a job, and we have to go serve trays. We'll be strong. Inhale, exhale. It's possible. You never know what's going to happen. Can you imagine yourself serving a tray at a fancy dinner party? Yeah, I could. I'd wear a cute little tuxedo outfit. Inhale, exhale. But let's hope that we don't have to. If we want to, good. Okay, I'm going to do 3 more. These actually feel really good for me today, and I'm not getting in my neck. Where do I feel it? I feel it in my upper back, and I feel it along my arms, like everywhere. So last one here. Yay! Okay, then we finish with a little rotation. My feet are going to go a little wide. This is our jabs, our fighting stance, and we're going to reach across and across and across. Good. Now, sometimes we do it slow. Today, I'm going to do fast. Good. So it's 50, 49, 48, 47, 46, 45, 44, 53, 42, 41, 40. Good. Fast if you want. Slower if you want. Good. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 24, 23, 22, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. Fast sometimes feels good. I'm not a fast twitch person, if you've noticed. My whole life I've trained in Pilates, which is endurance, which is great for longevity. Good. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna do a couple more. Yes. Whoa. So sometimes forcing myself to move fast is a healthy thing for me. Excellent. Okay, we're gonna come down to the mat. Do you feel a teeny tiny bit better already than you did? I do. Yes, I do. Okay, beautiful, lovely, amazing neighbors and friends. Come on down. Oh, there's a lot of light coming in. I'm going to adjust the shades. But how we're going to start is TheraBand's going to be doubled up. We're going to use it as a stretcher, and we're going to have our feet on the ball. Yeah, there's a sunshiny day streaming in through my windows. Okay. Whew. So my feet are on my ball. My ball is a rolling object. I'm going to use the TheraBand for a stretcher today and just see if that works for me. Gives me a little bit more room in my shoulders, and we've just worked the shoulders a lot today, so it seems like it would be a good idea to practice that. My stretcher is helping me engage my core, my arms, and to relax my neck. And it's going to be a challenge to come on down with my feet on the ball. So I'm going to see if I can do it in 8 counts. Inhale, sit as tall as you can. Exhale, we come down smoothly for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Now, I'm going to lengthen my legs and push down. For me, the ball is behind my Achilles, not on my feet. I'm going to see if I can roll up smoothly. Inhaling up, exhaling, roll up. Good. I bring my feet in. Feet are actually on the ball. And I'm going to see if I can do this 2 more times. So I sit tall, that's my inhale. Exhale, I come down for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stretch my legs. I do a little tiny little change so that the ball is now behind my ankle. Good. And then I'm going to slowly see if I can come up. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, roll up. Trying to keep my feet pressing down if possible. Good. And I sit up tall and I wiggle my feet so that my feet come on top of the ball. Good. Last one. These are great. Inhale, sitting tall. Exhale, rolling down. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. That felt really good. I'm going to let the ball rock me a little tiny bit side to side, releasing the tiny little muscles next to my spine. So it takes a minute for the movement to move all the way from my feet up through my pelvis. And can you feel the little movement moving up through your spine? Maybe it even comes to your head. You're not trying to move anything. You're getting little tiny release through the movement. Excellent. Okay. Now for this next set, let's see what we can do here. I'm going to stick with this stretcher. Feels great for me today. Option to have hands clasped behind the head. I'm going to pull the ball in. And I'm going to wiggle just a little bit so my spine is lengthened. And then my tailbone is flat. So I feel that my whole pelvic basin is heavy. Good. I'm just going to do chest lift with my feet on the ball. So taking a breath in. Exhale, I use my arms to pick up my head. And then I lift a teeny bit higher so that I can feel I'm above my shoulder blades. Yep. And then all the way down.
Good. So it's lift and higher and down. These feel wonderful today. I'm getting a great neck stretch. Any of you have bone spurs in your neck? If so, this is actually a great way to do any kind of abdominal work because we're stretching and releasing tension on the neck. Can you feel how the cervical vertebrae are getting a little bit of space in between them? For me, I can feel that. It feels great. So we lift, take it higher and down, and lift, higher and down. Good. I want us to do just a little tiny bit of an experiment. So feel your feet on the ball. Feel what it feels like as you lift up into your chest lift. And feel like, are you using the back of your legs? Are you using the front of your legs? Are you barely using your legs? Like how does being on the ball help you or hinder you in this exercise? Good. And then for our second set, we're going to put our feet flat on the floor and you can squeeze the ball between your ankles or wherever it is right there. Okay. Then I want you to do a set with me with the feet on the floor and we're going to see how the two are different. Okay. Particularly focusing in on our leg use. Okay. So here we go. We're going to lift a little higher and down. And lift, take it higher and down. So it's the same set, but I want you to think, how does it feel with the inner thigh? How does it feel with the front of the leg versus the back of the leg? How is it different being on the ball or being on the floor with your feet? And you might notice if you have a preference. Good. Give me 3 more and really focus it inward. Lift, higher, and down. Let's do one more. Lift, higher, and down. Okay. What do you think? Do you have a preference? Are they just different? I know this is a terrible thing to say, but I don't know what the difference is. I love doing experiments because I would have told you for sure when our feet are on top of the ball, we're using much more of the hamstrings, but I didn't feel that today. I felt them both great. I think I use my abdominals more when my feet are on the ball. So I'm going to go back to that and then we're going to add on. I love you guys when you do experiments with me. Thank you so much. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna lift up and a little bit higher and down, but just kind of reestablishing just 2 more. Lift and higher and down. 1 more. Lift and higher and down. Perfect. Now what I want you to do is put your right foot in the center of the ball. Left leg comes up to tabletop. First 3, we hold it very steady. Left leg is steady. Both legs are steady. We're going to lift and higher and down. Good. You want to keep your spine even, and there might be a tendency to twist a teeny bit toward the leg. Don't do that. You want to be straight with your spine. Good. Now we're going to shoot the leg on the ball long. So we're going to lift up and shoot it long. And down. Let's do 3 just like that. It's 3. And 2. Good. And 1. Good. Now you're going to add your left leg. Both legs lengthen. 3. And 2. Good. Last 1. All the way down. Nice work. Change legs. Left foot in the middle of the ball, right leg in perfect tabletop. First 3, we add the pulse, and it's just stable. Good, we're establishing the spine is what we're interested in. Spine. So we lift, higher, and down. No twisting. Lift, higher,
And down. Good. Now we're going to move the leg on the ball as we lift up and lower down. Good. We get 3 of those. 3. Woohoo! And 2. Yay. And 1. Good. And now both legs straighten. Both legs. Good. And both legs. Yay. Once more. Both legs. And down. Woo! That was great. The TheraBand helps me use my arms more too. Okay, let's move into our leg circles next. So I've got my left foot on the ball. I'm going to lengthen that and push it down. Right leg comes up to the sky, and I give it a little bit of a pull, and I'm going to flex and point my foot or feet. Foot or feet, whatever your choice is. Flex and point. Yeah. Can you work through a good range of motion? Can you feel like, wow, I've got a pedal that I'm pushing down, and then the pedal pushes me. I push the pedal, and then it pushes me. How much movement do you have there in your foot? In your ankle, really. Okay, now I'm going to keep my up foot reaching up. I'm going to check that my pelvis is even. I get 5 leg kicks. Down and kick. And down and kick. Good. I'm holding my ribs a little bit together. I don't know why, but today they seem to want to splay apart. So I'm thinking about that a little bit. And I'm keeping my left leg pressing down on the ball. Good. On the 5th one, I again re-engage by pointing my up leg, and I really reach it up to the sky. I'm going to take 5 big circles across the body, down, up, and around. Big circles. Inhaling, exhaling. Good, as big as you can, and reverse it for 5. Inhaling, exhaling, 4, 3. Good. 2, and last 1. Good. Now hug that knee into your body. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then open up your right leg to your right armpit. So you're going to take it out and up a little bit. Can you find some kind of a stretch on the back of your leg when you do that, or somewhere? Good. Little compressive squeeze. Give your legs some love. Mwah. I love you, legs. And release that. Good. Let's take a tiny pause before we do the other side. Good. Do you notice a difference between your right side and your left side? To me, it's dramatic today. Feels really cool. The leg that I just worked feels so long. It's like a mile longer than the other leg. Crazy. Okay, now my right leg is going to be on the ball, and I'm going to bring my left leg in and extend it up. I just kind of double check that my pelvis is really level and even, and then if I'm still having issues with my ribs, which I think are corrected now, but I need to think about buttoning the ribs together a little bit. Then I'm going to flex and point my feet or foot. And I really want you to work for a range of motion. So maybe think about you pushing down the pedal and then the pedal pushing you. Yes. Good job. Woohoo. Ah, nice. Life is so good. Life is so good. Okay, perfect. So now we get the leg kicks. I want you to point your extended leg, so left leg, and you're reaching it up. Very important because you're pulling your leg up out of the socket. And then we get 5 kicks, down and up. Probably point down and flex up. Good, buttoning up those ribs. Good. Why did you have such an issue with your ribs today? You don't usually. I don't know. I had a big buckwheat banana pancake. Do you think that maybe might have had something to do with it? Maybe. I don't know. Good. One more. Perfect. Okay. I'm going to point the foot. Both legs are working, right? And I take it across the body, and it's a big circle. 5. I keep breathing. Inhaling, exhaling. Good. Ooh, I feel some rubber band kind of tightness today. That is my psoas on the left side. It's tight. You can gather so much information. Good. Now let's reverse that. 4, 5, and 4. Good job. 3. Make it big. Keep the ribs buttoned. Keep the right leg pushing down. I'm going to do one more big one. Good. And then compressive squeeze. Pull your leg. Pull it in. Give it a hug. A nice tight compressive squeeze. I don't know why, but that always feels so good to me. Then today, we're going to move this left leg out to left armpit. So it's just a slightly different stretch. It's a little bit out. And then I feel it in the, I guess the adductor gracilis, the inner part of my back of my leg, and it feels great. Good. It almost feels to me like a nerve stretch today. Yeah. I don't know why. It just does. In my next lifetime, I'm going to be a singer. But in this lifetime, I was not given a beautiful singing voice. I took a bunch of singing classes. And I've tried. I love singing. But it's okay. In my next lifetime, I'll be a great singer. Or in my own mind, I'll be a great singer. Sing in the shower. Okay, beautiful. That felt good. Now I'm going to keep my feet on the ball for just the beginning of our bridge series. Some of you don't like to be on the ball for bridges, which is fine with me. Feet can be on the floor. Ball will be in between the ankles or on the floor. Arms are at our sides. We're going to take an inhale here. Exhale and lift the hips up and then undulate down. Yep. Lift it up, undulate down. Good. Now it's pretty easy to feel the difference between the feet on the ground and the feet on the ball in bridges. It really brings the level up quite a bit. So for some of you, it's too much and it creates cramping. So then your feet are on the floor. For me, it's just at the edge where it makes it more challenging for me. And I like it. I just like the variety of it and the cross training of it. So that we're always doing Pilates, but we're never doing the exact same move. Okay, I'm going to do one more. Up and roll it down. Good. Now I'm going to stretch my legs long. My arms up over the head, and I'm just going to imagine that somebody's come along and they've offered to pull my legs and pull my hands so that I'm being stretched. I'm being stretched in both directions. My waist is getting so teeny tiny and skinny, and my whole body is gaining an inch or more. Good. Can you stretch any more? Can you breathe and stretch? Good. Okay, and then slowly, because I stretch so much, I'm going to take it really slowly as I bring it back to my bridge series. Great. My feet come onto the ground, and I'm going to place the ball between my inner thighs now. And I really want to focus here on glutes and the back of the body for this series. So we're going to do 3 hip lifts, and the hip lifts are going to be up
and down. And as we lift up, we squeeze the ball. So we squeeze and lower and squeeze and lower. Nice work. Squeeze and lower. Last one, we stay. Okay. Finding the long, lean line, the 3 L's in your body, so that if somebody came and measured you, you'd be like this perfect long line. For many of you, the hips are falling a little bit. Do press your hip bones, your ASIS, up as high as you can. Good. Then we're going to do 20 squeezes of the ball. Squeeze and release. It's squeeze and release. Squeeze and release. Both legs working hard. Here we go. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great job. Now 3 down and ups. Down, squeeze to lift. Down, squeeze to lift. Down, squeeze to lift. Good. One more and we stay. Perfect. Are you in your long line? Can you lift up your ASIS a teeny tiny bit more maybe? Are your thighs tight today and you're feeling, wow, this is like a stretch for me in my quads? All good. From here, it's just the right leg for 20. So here we go, just the right leg. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. Make it strong. That left leg is the stabilizing leg. Good, let's do 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, now there's no break. We stay lifted. Keep the ASIS lifted. Left leg, in and out, in and out. Good, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. 3 times down and up. Down and up. Good. Now, where should you feel that? I know everyone's different, but the intention really is to feel it deep in your glute. So you'll feel it right in the middle of your butt cheeks. Is that where you felt it? Good. Last one, stay. Inhale, arms rise up to the sky. Exhale, articulate your spine down slowly, almost like you're making a circle as you come down. Tailbone comes down, and then the arms return to your sides. Good. Lengthen your legs. Melt down. Good. Is there any tension anywhere? If so, melt it down so that you are releasing even as you're working out. Yeah. I've been having tension, I told you, the last few months in my jaw, and it's just kind of constant reminders during the day, relaxing my whole face and my jaw. And then a few hours later, I'll do it again and I'll have to release it again. It's just a place I've been carrying tension. I think it's kind of our jobs to ferret out our tension and release it, because who the heck else is going to do it, right? So just sharing that with you. I think it's pretty common that we do carry some tension in our jaw. It might be because we're not saying what we need to say in our lives, because we're so busy texting silly things to people. All right, we are going to do some really lovely leg movements today with the ball underneath the sacrum. So let's move into that next. Lifting up, placing the ball under the sacrum. Relaxing the jaw. Legs come on up to tabletop. Yeah. And we're going to do our super basic set today. But first, really pull your belly into the ball. Maybe thinking about tailbone curling around, and then your ribs are sinking down.
I have all of my abdominal muscles fired, but not like 100%, maybe like 20 or 30%, but they're working. Then I'm gonna do my knee backs. So I reach one foot toward the floor and the other one toward my head, and it's knee back, knee back. Good, now I have to let go of my legs so that I'm not using my legs for the exercise. I'm using my legs as weights. I am using my core, so it's good. And when I'm really feeling it well, it's a very beautiful light abdominal isolation. That's what it feels like to me. So it's knee back, knee back, knee back, and it's exhale, exhale. Good. Good, and I kind of have to cycle through it because it's a simple exercise. My mind gets a little bored and I have to keep thinking, release the weight of your legs. This is core work, core work. Keep focusing. Exhale, 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 exhale. Couple more. If you're doing this well, this is one of the best exercises of all. It's a beautiful, wonderful basic abdominal exercise. And it teaches you to use your abs when you're moving your legs. How cool is that? But I think it's a really complicated one for people. And for me, I think it's because it's simple. Perfect. Okay. Now my legs are just going to be heavy into the femur heads. So I feel that everything is sort of settling. Good. And then it's one leg out and one leg in. And I want to do this super slow. One in and one out, like I'm stuck in mud or an Anna Husky's honey. I only have a little bit of honey left in it. I made some really great peanut butter cookies last week. You use peanut butter, eggs, honey, and it's like a tiny tablespoon of sugar. And they are the best peanut butter cookies. And they're good for you, right? Super high protein. And the honey tastes so good in them. Okay, now I'm bringing the pace up just a little bit. Good. To me, this feels wonderful. And you might see that I'm kind of keeping my legs low. They're not as low as the ball. They're a little bit above the ball, but they're low. So I'm feeling this as an abdominal exercise. Good. And then I'm going to take it a little bit faster. Good work. Legs go up. I want to flex my feet and see if I can just hang out with my legs up, letting the blood flow move down. And this is legs up against the wall in a beautiful, easy, wonderful, relaxing yin yoga class. Good. I also made a white bean kale soup. The other day. It was so good. The Tuscan soup is so delicious. And I used the Royal Corona beans. Oh my God, from Rancho Porto. Love those. So good. I had to text Joan. Joan, I made white bean soup. She's like, oh, I love those. Okay, people, we're going to move into a little bicycle ride. So we take the legs down and up. And then we're going to work with different pace today. So first one is slow. So slow it down. Yep. And for me, the bicycle movements today are going to be big. Yours might be a little bit smaller, but I'm actually touching the floor with one foot. The other leg is going as big toward my head as it can. To me, it's a stretchy bicycle. Because my bicycle, when I ride my bike, I don't ride it like this. I did have a beautiful bike ride yesterday, though. It's great, almost 40 miles and 2,500 elevation. That's a good ride. I could have kept going too. It was a beautiful day. I saw a hawk. I saw so many animals on my bike ride yesterday. like 25 horses, like 30 cows, 18 deer, foxes, cats, and dogs, of course. Birds, 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 and then the most glorious hawk that I have never, ever gotten so close to ever before. I was coming along the road and the hawk was on a signpost, and it was 12 inches from my head. I'm not kidding you. 12 inches was like right there. And as I rode by, it just stayed still and looked at me. And I thought, should I take my camera out? No, I'll lose the moment. So I just looked at him and he looked at me. And then I whizzed by. Oh, it was so cool. Okay, we're gonna supposedly work with speeds today. Oh, forget that. That was good enough. Let's put our feet down and lengthen the legs. And let's get a back stretch here for a moment. Ah, good. Sometimes it's really nice to just wiggle your head a little side to side, because in this back bend, you have a little bit of traction in your neck, and maybe you've been carrying some tension in your neck, or maybe you created some. So for some people, that is wonderful. Ah, good. Okay, I'm gonna lift up off the ball, and we're gonna do some, not the entire back to basics, but a basic series for hips today. We're in the L shape because it's the most supportive for our bodies. We're gonna take the ball and place it behind the knee. We give it a strong squeeze. Bellies are pulled all the way in. Maybe for you, you need to lengthen your waist. We do a small little lift and a small little lower. Keep going, lift and lift and lift and lift. Keep going, lift and lift and lift and lift. Keep going, lift and lift and lift and lift. Good job. So I did finish the Every, Dave Eggers' new book, and oh my gosh, I love it. It's really good. I think sometimes I love every book I read practically. Do I ever tell you about books that I read this book and it's horrible? Oh yeah, I guess I do, maybe. But mostly I pretty much love a lot of the books I read. This one is so good though. I won't tell you any more about it, but I'm still thinking about it and thinking about it. And the main character, Delaney, she's me, she's you, she's naive. I would just change your name to Naive and then put the mirror on me, because we are so naive about what's happening in our society. Okay, now let's take it into a big circle. 10 and 9 and 8 and 7 and 6 and 5. Other way today, that's all. 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Yes, we did it. Okay, we're gonna do a little bit of, we were kind of running out of time. I don't know how that happens, but we're gonna do a stretch at the end. So let's go on to the other side. Good. That was a nice, easy set for hips today, not killers. I like that. We don't always have to kill our hips. So just kind of thinking L shape, length, pelvis steady, and then small little lifts, lift and lift and lift. Keep going, lift and lift and lift. Keep going, lift and lift and lift. Keep going, lift and lift. Keep going, lift and lift and lift and lift as we can. Hips are strong. Good. If we keep our hips strong, we're going to prevent so many possible injuries. It's so worth it to do this work. It's crazy. Do we always do hip strengthening? Every class. Every class. Good. Now we're going to do a couple little more, and then we do our circles. Good job. And circle. And circle.
and circle, and circle. Good. 3, 4, 5, and reverse that. Good. I'm trying to keep my hips stacked. For some reason, I'm not keeping the perfect form on this side, so I'm going to go a little slower. I'm going to see if I can do 3 good ones, 2 good ones, and last one. Yay! That was not painful. Yes. Okay, let's roll onto our back for number 4 stretch, because we probably need it after that. I'm going to use my pillow as a ball, my ball as a pillow, and I'm going to stretch the leg I just used first. Cross it over here and pull it in. Good thing we're doing the stretch today. I need it. Oh, yeah. Feels good. So I finished the Every, and I picked up, I have a book called West with Giraffes I told you about. I'm looking forward to that. But I picked up a random book from the library called The Plant Hunter. Who even picks up random books from the library anymore? Usually you just go and get your books and leave. But I happened to walk by the bookshelf, and The Plant Hunter. It's so good. It's written by an ethnobotanist from Emory University, a young woman who has traveled all over the world hunting plants, and she lost her leg when she was 3 years old due to sepsis. So in the beginning, she tells her own medical story and how she came to become an ethnobotanist. And it is so interesting. She is so cool. So I'm going to definitely finish that one. Okay, and then I'm going to shake out my legs and do the other side. Couple breaths. Good. This side is not nearly as tight as the other side, but I do feel like I need it today. And for me, it's right in my glute where we've been working today. Glutes, glutes, glutes. Why is it that we have to work on the glutes all the time? Well, the glutes are, I think, besides the masseter, your jaw muscle is the strongest muscle in your body. But besides that, the glutes are your strongest muscle. And I think the strongest muscles get weaker faster. Does that make sense? I think so. They don't hold their strength. The smaller muscles that we work, they keep the strength. Have you ever taken a vacation from Pilates for a couple of weeks, and then you come back and you're like, oh, I didn't lose that much strength because we work from the inside out. But the glutes, have you noticed if you stop doing glute work, your butt sags and it gets flattened? Yeah, it's true. Okay, so kick your butt out, and let's do our 3-way stretch to finish class today. So for our 3-way stretch, we're going to come to the mat in a seated position, and you're always allowed to use your ball. Yeah, use your ball. Okay, the ball for me gives me a little bit of support. I'm about on 1/8 of it. And I'm going to start with my bottom of my feet together in the cobbler position or butterfly pose. And I use my body to pull myself upright and forward. Good. When I lean forward like this, I really get a beautiful stretch on my inner thighs. It feels lovely. I take a couple breaths. Beautiful. Then I'm going to use my hands on my legs to open my legs as wide as I can. And then same thing here, I get as tall as I can, and I take it forward. You don't want to collapse into this. Hi, Minnie. You don't want to collapse into this stretch. So you don't want to collapse over. You want to have a long spine. But for some of you, it's possible that your face is on the ground.
It's possible. Not for me today, but I feel a really nice, beautiful feeling in the inner legs. Good. And then lastly, last one, we're going to bring the legs together, get the arms to come up, and then we take it into forward fold. Once you get forward and your spine is straight, you can relax your shoulders. You're not collapsing. Your belly's still pulling in. Take a couple of deep breaths here. Good. Know that we've spent a full, wonderful, yummy hour together getting stronger in mind, body, spirit, so that we can just keep on fighting and surviving and thriving in this crazy world. And hopefully keep laughing. Good. Okay, beauties, that was so much fun today. I hope you had as much fun as I did. Most of the time I feel like the class is really for me because I love it so much, but hey, that's an okay thing, right? I can enjoy my own class.